All right, and we're live. How's everybody going today? It's been a little bit since I did a live stream, so I thought we would just get to answer some questions. I have a couple things I want to talk about. So I want to get right to something I found at the grocery store. So first of all, put in the chat, make sure the chat's working. Can somebody, go ahead and type where you're from, how's it going, whatever. Make sure I have it all set up correctly. Can everybody hear me out there? How's my volume? Hello. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Just Slot Cars. Thank you for showing that. Make sure I'm not just talking to myself or you guys can't hear me. But so anyway, thank you for coming to the stream. And I wanted to share real quick, and then we'll get into Q&A afterward, about something I found at the grocery store. Now, for those of you who are new to the channel, I teach people how to save money by cutting sub-primal cuts into steaks and saving lots of money. So that's what we do on this channel, and I have lots of videos that do that. Basically, so at Costco, I was out there the other day, and I noticed that they had whole ribeyes next to cut ribeyes. For the longest time, those prices have been really similar, and the prices are going to change between depending on depending on what area of the country you live in. But usually there's a little bit of difference at Costco for the ones they cut and the ones that are whole. So that price has increased. So I found a whole ribeye for $13.99 per pound. That was a whole one. And then the cut ribeyes were $16.99 per pound. So we had a $3 price difference, which for that, it was 21-pound whole ribeye. It really made a difference. And then I went to Publix, it was my local grocery store, to see what I can get one ribeye for. And theirs was $21.44. So it really does make a difference when we're talking about these primal cuts to cut your own and get that cost savings. So I worked that out. So if you buy the sliced ones at Costco, in the big package, you save $63. And then at Publix, we saved $156 rather than buying each individual steak. So there is a lot of value there. But again, Costco is one of my favorite places to buy these subprimal cuts. And it's just so nice because you can get the cost savings and you can get the customization. So you can cut thick ribeyes or thin ones or prime ribs. And it's really, really helpful. So I just wanted to throw that out there and say that there is a big cost savings when we do this ourselves. All right. So what kind of questions do we have? I just wanted to make sure people got in here and tell my little anecdote of the day. It's kind of informal. My live streams are really pretty much informal. So, start putting questions in the chat. It'll help me if you put either a question or Q or something like that so I can pick it out of the chat. But what kind of questions we got? Let's see who we got in here. People from, we got Michael from Virginia. We have Chris from Georgia. Hey, yeah, I'm in South Carolina, and it is hot today. You can't even go outside. It is so hot and humid today. It's getting crazy. We have Mooresville, North Carolina. Let's see. Somebody found a Chuck. Let's see. I found a Chuck Eye the other day at the small food line. Was very surprised. In Houston, Texas. Yeah, the Chuck Eye is one of my favorites. It's always good. The problem with the Chuck Eye is not a lot of people cut them out. Not a lot of people cut them. They just go ahead and take that whole chuck roll. If they even cut them in-house at all, they just make them all chuck roasts. So they're kind of hard to find. No questions, just show us your magic. Well, I don't have all my magic yet today, but again, you please, after this, go ahead and go to watch some videos. That'd be awesome. I like buying subprimals so I can dry age them from Victor. Yeah, so I just got my dry aging cabinet, so I haven't got it out of the box yet, and I'm really excited because I want to start dry aging. it's that, talk about money savings. If you can dry age yourself, it's like they charge such a premium for dry age meat, and it tastes delicious, and if you can do it yourself, it's even better. So videos coming on that soon. I just got to get one in the get a strip or a ribeye, something in the steak ager, and we'll go from there. Drew says Wegmans cuts them from time to time. Yeah, so Wegmans, like I think they're just in the Northeast, but yeah, that grocery store is awesome. I have my brother-in-law lives in Maryland, right next to a Wegmans, and we go there all the time when we visit him. And they have a great meat counter, just a great grocery store altogether. It makes a difference if you can find the places that cut the things in house. That always helps. So much of steak or so much of meat preparation is going into like the Walmarts of the world, where they just get them in pre-cellophaned and then they sell them from there. So they don't have any kind of wiggle room. There's no customization involved. So if you can find those grocery stores that do it themselves, that's the best. Yeah, so we have one Revel. Wish I could get more of the subprimals, but we're in an RV. That's going to be a tricky situation because you definitely need cold storage. We need freezers, we need refrigerators. So that is definitely a hindrance. So it's just quiet. Does Publix cut in-house? So yes, my Publix does. I'm not sure if that's through the entire chain, but they do cut in-house. And sometimes it's kind of hit or miss. I in one of my videos with my the beef tenderloin, I got one from Publix that still had silver skin on it. It still has the chain on it. So they do cut them in-house. And now that you mentioned that, my Publix too has started to really have some different cuts. So they're having less of the ribeyes and tenderloins and strips and more of, like, I can find flat irons there, or the top blade steak, which is the same thing. They just different way they cut. They cut them, but like you could. I even found there was like a beef kidney. I haven't ever had beef kidney before. I've had a lot of offal, but not the kidneys. But they could find all kinds of stuff, oxtails and bones and stuff, because it seems like as prices get more expensive, people are kind of looking for that next tier lower of, hey, I gotta save some money. So which really is not too bad because those cuts are really good. Eddie asked, do you have a downloadable file that displays the primal and what cuts can be obtained from that section? So I am definitely working on that. I haven't, you guys get to hear this first because I just got permission today, but I have been this whole year I've been working on a cookbook. So it will come out in November. And what I did was, for this cookbook, is we sectioned everything off by the primal cuts. So you'll have the primal cuts, how to break them down, pictures to show you how to break them down, and then recipes for that particular primal cut. So it's been a really big project, and we're really excited about it. And it's coming out in November. Pre-sales will start here pretty soon, and you'll hear a lot about it on the channel. But yeah, with that, I think a good sheet of paper, a good downloadable that will say, hey, in the chuck, you get Denver steaks, chuck eyes, chuck roast, that kind of thing. I think that would be helpful for everybody. A good benefit to doing your own aging is you can buy less expensive meat up front and age. That's a great way of making it, of aging it and making it taste a little bit better, a little bit more expensive. Yeah, I can't wait for my steak, for my aging cabinet to get that stuff going, because it's I had my first dry aged steak when I was working at the butcher shop, and it was, I know this is going to sound bad, but it was almost out of date, so they let us take it home. So it was a lot of fun. So I was like, man, this is really, really good. I don't think I've ever had a dry aged steak before. but it is definitely a great different flavor. But it is expensive because there's a lot of water loss when they do it. So they have to account for some of that weight loss when they price them. How often do I sharpen my knives? Great question. So I hone my knives with a honing steel every time I use the knife. That's that, the little ching ching ching. You hold it up. It's got the little piece of metal. That's the honing steel. So that kind of is used every time. That way, it can help get that blade edge back to true. And then every month I will go ahead and sharpen the knives that I use most often. So like your chef's knife that you use every night to make dinner, something like that. Make sure those get sharpened every month as needed. If you have a time where you're using a lot of it, using it more often, then maybe you have to do it more often. But I think once a month is good rule of thumb. And if you don't use it a lot, extend that out. But to get out like a stone or, there's a ton of contraptions that will help you sharpen your knives. So, but definitely keeping them sharp is essential. See if I missed anything. I don't think I missed anything. Yeah, so it's just a lot of cool stuff happening this for the second half of the year. First of all, I cannot believe that it is already July, or it's already July 4th weekend. So it's crazy. It's gone by way too fast. My kids are at home. I'm actually shocked that we haven't had like somebody running through the behind me or in front of me. So I just barely got everybody's lunch cleaned up. But yeah, man. Do we have any other questions? Anything about videos, or what would you like to see in the future? Anybody have anything that they're burning to see that I could put on my list? Let's see what else I got. Got 71 people here for lunchtime, or well, I guess it's after lunchtime, 2:00, but I guess it depends on where you live. I bought 3 chuck rolls of Sam's Club, and use your video. That great. 3 chuck rolls is a lot. That's a big. You got enough meat for a long time. I just did one not 2 weeks ago. Got lots of ground meat. We've been doing smash burgers. Our family's been on a smash burger kick. So they're what kids? What do you want for this weekend? Smash burgers. So it's been a lot of fun. Have I ever? Eddie's asked, have you ever considered doing any collaborations with other YouTubers? Yeah, I'm working on some stuff. I've been to a couple conferences. It's all getting to know people, and that's been interesting because this, just making videos in my kitchen and doing all that stuff is a kind of a lonely job. So it's been I'm meeting more people, and I think we're going to get some stuff going in the future. I got some stuff in the works. But is there anybody in particular I need to reach out to? Who want anybody you like to see? And you can't say like these ones that are out of reach. No Tom Brady, no Guga, no. I don't think I'm on their radar yet. Okay, that's a good one. I recently bought a large piece of meat at Costco, and it said chuck roast on it. Is that the same as the chuck roll? Now, yes and no. The chuck roll is the subprimal cut that they get the chuck roast from. So they will go ahead and take, because the chuck roll is about 20 pounds, so ish. So they will take that and cut it into chuck roasts, which is chuck roasts are really the most popular. Ground chuck and chuck roast are the most popular ways that people consume the chuck. So that's usually grocery stores do that the most. But yes, it's the same cut of meat. It's just small. How about suggesting the first subprimal to cut up? Now that is so. I have a video that starts with the beginner lessons, and I started with pork actually. In that lesson, there was 4 different things to do. Cut. There was like taking silver skin off, slicing into steaks, like taking the bone out of something, like deboning a pork shoulder. So if you're going to practice on pork, it's good to it's a lot cheaper, and you can get some of the same skills. I think the New York strip is if you're going to do like the steak cuts, the New York strip is the easiest one, or the ribeye. They're very straightforward. You're taking out the package, minimal trim, and just slicing it to the right thickness. And then what I do is, especially if you're a beginner, I will trim each individual steak. So I will go ahead and cut the whole strip and then take each individual steak and trim it up. Once you get to be proficient, a lot of butchers do this. They will trim the whole primal cut because they've done it for a long time. So it's easier for them to do that way than it is to trim each individual steak. But I think for the beginner, for the home butcher, I think that is slicing them and then then trimming each individual steak is the best, easiest way to go. You don't want to cut into the meat and make it not look nice or lose any meat. So, Chris, doesn't Costco blade tenderize their steaks? Yes, they do. So all of their cut steaks are blade tenderized. What that means is they have a machine that has little blades on it and pokes little holes in it, which you can see if you look really closely at the store. You can see the blade tenderizing. I don't know specifically why they do that for all the cuts. Something maybe some may need it, but for fillets and ribeyes and strips and stuff, you probably don't need it, but I think it's just kind of their policy. The reason that comes up as a bad thing is because it potentially could introduce foodborne illness, some bacteria into the center of the steak, which is no good. So, but all these Costco's run a very clean ship, so I'm sure you're not going to get sick from it. But it's just I think it's an unnecessary step. My big thing with, and I'm going to do a video on this too, because I got some tenderloins that I just got the cut ones because I was in a hurry. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to get the cut ones. It'll just be faster that way. When I got home, I opened up the tenderloins and I had to trim them all anyway. Had the chain on there. It had silver skin. It had stuff, connective tissue we don't want. So I ended up having to go ahead and trim it again. I might as well have just gotten the whole tenderloin and been able to cut anything I wanted. But, that's where it comes down to when you're buying these steaks, that what is the best, why are you buying this steak? Do you want to get I'm sorry, that's wrong. What is the skill level of the person cutting your steaks? Or they're going it may be skill level. It may be they're going so fast. You've seen a Costco when it's busy, but they got a lot of stuff going on. So maybe that's part of their thing. They just go ahead and cut it into steaks and see you later. So I like the customization. Obviously, if you're going to have to trim it anyway, you might as well trim the whole thing. Get big fillets. Get the tail tips that you can do other things with. Get the chain, which you can grind into hamburger. So it just it's another reason why I think that breaking down your own subprimal cuts is so much fun and so useful. Chili Pepper Madness. Yeah, I've seen some of his stuff. Me Church, Matt Pittman. I met him at I went to a event with Traeger. They invited me out there and I met him, and he's as cool as a guy as he is on his videos. He's the exact same guy. He was a riot. Yep, use chuck roasts and break into cubes to stew for chili or birria. Yeah, that's I love the birria tacos. There's actually a recipe for that in my book. I don't know how, I try. It's not. I'm sure it's not super traditional, but it's my version, right? London broils, London broils is more of a preparation. Also, you can use things like the round. You use a tougher cut of meat, and it's marinated. So you can use the round. You can use. I think that's what I got a London broil recipe in the book. And I think that's what I used was the round. So I know in the grocery store they will say on the package London broil, but it's kind of a marketing term. That's what you do with it. Oh, Michelle, great to see you. Always here on the live streams. I appreciate it. That's my aunt. Okay, so Solar Dare, are you still carnivore? So this is a great question because I get this all the time. I'm not on the carnivore diet. What happened was when I was doing research, I know about keto and I've done that a couple of times. I know about the carnivore diet. And I thought, who could I help the most with what I do? And I thought of course, the people who only eat meat need to learn how to save money on meat. So I did that video on the carnivore's best friend, which is the chuck roll, and how you could save a bunch of money, cut your own steaks, and it's you can do a bunch of stuff. And that video went crazy, and everyone kind of thought, even though I said in the video that I'm on the carnivore diet, everyone thought I was. As I might try it, who knows, at some point, but as of right now, I am not on the carnivore diet. But I appreciate everyone who wants to eat more meat, and I want to help everybody save money by doing it. Would you consider doing a video on breaking down sections of venison? Do you know any sources of getting primal cuts of venison? Now, to my knowledge, when it comes to wild game, you can't sell wild game like that. That's why you don't see a lot of that. You see it on the one you see on menus for like restaurants usually come from New Zealand. So to my knowledge, I don't think that you can get primal cuts of venison, but I'm always open to figuring it out. But I've never been much of a hunter, so it never, my dad didn't hunt. I think that's kind of how you learn. Maybe I need to do a collaboration with a hunting YouTuber, and they could show me how to hunt, and we can break down some venison. Jack said, if you were designing a kitchen for a butcher, what are your must-have items and features? Well, I guess it would depend on whether it's like for commercial purposes or for home purposes. But anytime you're going to be doing, you just want everything easy to clean. That's the biggest thing, whether it is commercial or at home. You want everything easy to clean. If you're trying to like put it out in an outbuilding or put like a station out in an outbuilding or something, make sure it has good, water, easy to clean, a good refrigeration. I think that's the biggest bottleneck for me has been refrigeration, because I have two refrigerators, I have two freezers, and they fill up really quickly. So I think that's the biggest thing is refrigeration. If I had to put a lot of space, the more space you have, the better. Because, if you start getting into like, chamber vacuum sealers and meat slicers and all that stuff, big cutting boards, you need lots of room. Maz, I guess. I got my breaking knife because of you. Hey, thanks. I'm glad you guys have learned about those knives. The breaking knife is a great tool for when we're doing large pieces of meat. The ribeyes and the strips. It's like the only way to really get that good slice all the way through, and it's nice and even. So it comes in handy with all the other things we do. So it's a great knife. James is his first subprimal cut for a strip loin. All right, James, congratulations. You've now been indoctrinated into the club here. Let's see. Watch your video is very helpful in the process along the way. Yep. I mean, none of it is very difficult. It's just you just got to practice. Everything like this is a hands-on task that you have to practice. Victor, in the future, when and how long after you're going to be doing lives? I'm really trying to make the live streams a little bit more of what I do. For right now, they're going to be kind of impromptu. I do have, let's see, they're going to be kind of impromptu, and I'm going to jump in and out. And that's, I would like to get a specific day and time to do it. I want to test out a few times too, because I know this one is, 2:00. People are doing all kinds of things. I wonder if a nighttime one would be different. So, we're going to give it a shot because I really enjoy answering the questions and getting to know everybody. Yeah, so guys, I do have something I want to talk to you guys about. Something I'm rolling out. I'm doing new. If that's okay with everybody. What's the difference? Oh, one more time. What's the difference between select and prime ribeye cuts? So basically, those are grades. So prime, it goes prime, choice, select. So prime is the best grade. It has the most intermuscular fat. It's the juiciest. It's the most tender. So it is the best one and most expensive. Choice is next, which is what you normally would see at a grocery store. That's what most of everything is. Then there's select, which is another grade down. A lot, there's nothing wrong with it. It just has less fat. And you can definitely see if you put a select one up against a choice one, you can definitely tell the difference in the amount of fat in there. And that's what makes it juicy and delicious. So, and those are a little bit cheaper too. So a lot of food service places will use like big institutional uses for select beef, but those are the three grades of most common grades of beef that are available to the home consumer. But there's no difference in the cuts. So you have a strip loin can be prime, choice, select. Met a cow and I tried cutting a chuck roll for the first time, and I needed more practice and watch more videos or over and over. Yes, it is. And my question is for my tips on grinding it as ground beef. Okay, great. Chuck roll, out of all the stuff that I do or we do on the channel, that is the most technical because we're not just cutting it into chuck roast. We're trying to get those special cuts that are inside. We're trying to get those special cuts, the chuck eyes, the Denver steaks, things like that. So it is the most complicated. And it's not really, you just got to kind of practice it and, you'll get it. Tips on grinding it. So quick thing on grinding, make sure your grinder, all the attachments are cold. If you're using a KitchenAid attachment or if you're using a grinder that is just like a tabletop grinder, go ahead, both of those will work for what you do. Make sure you cut, make sure the meat's cold, everything's cold. You cut them into 1-inch cubes, enough to fit down the chute of the meat grinder, and then use the largest die you have. The die is the little blade or little thing with all the holes in it that you put into the meat grinder. So use the largest one you have, put everything through once, put the smaller one in, put everything through again. And that's the quick how to get a good grind on your chuck. If you only have one die, put it through. What I do is I'll test a little bit of it. If I just have one small die, I will test a little bit of it, put it in a frying pan, chop it up, taste it. What is the texture like? Is it really coarse or is it too fine? So that way you can kind of adjust accordingly. So if you need to put it through another time, go for it. Kimberly, thank you so much. Yep, you're on the carnivore diet. Awesome. And you're buying your meat in bulk. Double awesome. So, I get a real kick out of teaching. I used to be, I don't know if you guys know this, but I used to be a culinary school teacher. And that was one of the best jobs I ever had. I was there for 3 or 4 years. And it was so much fun to teach people, just see the look in their eye when they do something they didn't think they could do before. So that's kind of why I do what I do. All right, real quick. I wanted to share something with you guys that I'm doing special. So I have opened up a membership community called the Primal Cuts Club. So basically what's happening with the Primal Cuts Club is we have 3 phases of that where I have in-depth tutorials that are close up. So they're different from the what I do on YouTube, because with YouTube, you really have to be like, change the angles. I don't show everything that I do. I show most everything, but they're not like an in-depth tutorial. And because you gotta move along so that YouTube will show it to people, So what I did with these tutorials is I slowed down. I got a top-down camera that really takes a nice close-up shot of all the things that we do. So you got ribeyes on there, strips, tenderloins, chuck rolls, all that stuff. And I'm adding stuff all the time: grinding tutorials, knife sharpening tutorials, everything that I do, I'm putting in there. Also, what we're going to do is have 2 times a month, we're going to have a private members only Q&A call. So like this, but with less people, and you get to actually talk. So I'll bring you on. It is through a different app, but I'll bring you on and we can actually have a conversation. So that'll happen 2 times a month. And then there's also a community aspect to it. We have a little forum that people can post in and show their projects, show their progress. They can you can take a picture and say, here I'm at here, what I do wrong or what I do right. I can critique the pictures if you like, or for constructive criticism, of course. But yeah, we're gonna do some fun stuff. And I did a soft opening last week, and we already got some people in there. So if you guys are interested, I put a link in the description. I am offering, while supplies last, a free gift. I'm offering my I got 2 knives. We have the 10-inch breaking knife, and I have the 12-inch meat slicer. So 12-inch meat slicer, great for just slicing any kind of roasted meat. And they got the Butcher Wizard, logo on them, and they got a cool box that comes with it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I think for the first 50 people, I'm going to just send you out one when you sign up for free. So it's a $100 value. The cost of the membership is $29 a month. And, you can cancel anytime. It's just me running it for right now. So it's not like you're just talking to me. We're just hanging out. If you don't want to do it anymore, then I'm cool with that. So, I just want to help people. I want to get as many people in there as possible, because I really think with YouTube, it's really tough to really teach. And it's just, I'll tell you a quick story. So I don't know if anybody saw this, but I did a video on 10 ways to break down a chicken. Now, that's something I've gotten. Some people have asked for a chicken breakdown. Great. I went all out. I'm going to show you 10 different ways to do it, because there's 100 probably different ways to do it. So I put all this effort in this video. It's 40 minutes long. It's a wonderful video. I really was proud of it, and it just didn't get out there to enough people. People who commented said it was a great video and they liked it, but it just didn't get out there. Well, I would rather have a smaller group of people that we can really get in depth, and that's kind of where I'm at with that. So remind folks to like. Who may have forgotten. Yeah, if you would like to I would like that. So, but yeah, so there's a link to the Primal Cuts Club in the description, and we're just, I just really like to teach. Like I said, I like to teach, and I don't want to do it to want to help more people. And we're just having fun. It's summertime. It's hot. Man, are you guys hot? I live in South Carolina, and this has been a real hot summer. It's only July. So someone asked, where did I teach? My daughter is currently in culinary school. So I'm from Oklahoma originally. So I taught at a VOTEC in Oklahoma City called Platt College. And I taught all kinds of, I had the first couple of classes for the students call them kids, because a lot of them were adults. But I had the first classes, I had sanitation and I had knife skills. And then I would teach meat butchery and soup stocks and sauces and all kinds of stuff. So it was a lot of fun going through and doing that. We got any other questions before I get out of here, guys? You've been here for 35 minutes. I really, really appreciate you guys hanging with me and coming to the live stream. Again, I'm going to do more of these because they're kind of fun. I hope you had a good time. Again, go check out the Primal Cuts Club. Go check out, if you just want to get a knife and pay for a knife on Amazon, go check on that. Butcher Wizard on Amazon. Prime Day is coming up, so there's a pretty good discount on there. But yeah, thank you all for coming, and we will see you on the next one.